He once came over to Sein Geman or a Boch, I forgot, I remember his name was, and he thought he wasn't so smart. So he says, du bist nicht geklug, you're not smart, das du bist nicht schuldig, you're born like that. Was hast du Mahada sein? What if you Mahada? Because Chassid was not klug. It reminds me that the Friedrich Rebbe once sent, as Amaisa, the Friedrich Rebbe once sent, he used to be a kluger of Mashmias in the 70s, was the Mashmul Leviten. But he went up Pekech, was a very smart man. So the Friedrich Rebbe once sent him on the shlichus to the city of Chicago. He sent him to Chicago. And he told him, because the Friedrich Rebbe used to send shluchim. So they in the Aker, Aker, Gashmis, Ruchnis. So he told him to go to Chicago, and you should look up, there's a person by the name of Mr. What's his name again? Mr. Listener, Jack Listener. Go find him. It says the real name is Yecheskel. Go find him and buy him because he's stamped Chassidim, and we should be makarva to come back to Chassidus. Okay, so Shmuel traveled to Chicago, and those days in Chicago there was a shtickle yeshiva, a Chabad yeshiva, and Rabbi Weinberg of Shalom was the Manayel, the Rosh Yeshiva. He lived in Chicago for a short while, so he met up with him, and he asked him, "Would you know this person is Mr. Listener?" Nope, I've never heard of him. So they went to the Rav, the main Rav of the Kehillah there, Nishkel Lubavitcher. They asked him, "Is there some Mr. Listener?" Came to get from him. There's no one comes to shul for Shabbos, not during the week. I never heard of him. So since the Rebbe sent it to find out this Eid, so the Mamish, they looked at the phone book, they found him. He's a person, he's a big veer, and he has a factory, and they called up, they make a point with him. This Eid is Eid, nicht gefrummer. His factory is open on Shabbos, but the ganze frei. Aber stammt für Chassidim. So they come to him, and they say they called him up. They made an appointment. They said, "We're from Lubavitch. We'd like to meet with you." Oh, okay, good, come. When the Friedrich Rebbe sent Shmuel on the shlichus in Chicago, he tells him that you should know his last name is Listener, but his elder Zayde Gemara Ayit at Chosif and Alter Rebbe, and his name was Rabbi Yecheskel. And this Yecheskel, when he was close to the Alter Rebbe, they used to come to Alter Rebbe twice a year. He used to walk to the Alter Rebbe, and Alter Rebbe was then in Lozhner. And then the Malchus made a new Zayde that never has to have a last name. So he chose the last name Lozhner. Lozhner, the Alter Rebbe is Lozhner. That's why he has a Eirikel Listener, Mr. Listener, Lozhner. So they told this to him. The Shmuel and Rabbi Weinberg told us to eat that his mama just swole, and he asked the questions. Mama should fine. To finish the meeting, he takes out his checkbook, says, "Okay, how much do you want? I should write out my check." Says, "We're not coming for money." What, you're not coming for money? What are you rabbis? What do you think? What are you here for? No, we're coming to talk to you about Lubavitch, to bring you close. And what Shmuel says, Shmuel tells the seed, they should know that there's a Sefer Torah, and yesh shishim ribo aces b'teira. Yisrael, every Eid is Yisrael. So sometimes the Sefer Torah, there's the regular aces, but as a mold, there's some aces very ausgemekt. They become erased. And the Rebbe, which is the Friedrich Rebbe, he's like a sefer. He checks all the Sefer Torah, and he finds Eden that are erased, and he fixes them. So we're coming to you. Oh, very good thing, very good. And I don't know if he gave him money or not. They didn't come for money. Finished. Reb Shmuel comes back to the Friedrich Rebbe, and he gives him a duch, and he goes into Yechidus, and Reb Shmuel tells that the Friedrich Rebbe that the word that he told him that the Sefer Torah, you say yes shish me'eser b'teira, and some letters are ausgemekt. So Friedrich was looking at him, and the Friedrich Rebbe says, "That's not the right answer. You meant well, but that's not the right answer. There's no such thing as a Eid ausgemekt." Because the Torah is kike, everything in the Torah, like the luchas, everything is ausgemekt. Elamai, there's some dust on it. They have to take off the dust, the avak, the dust. Like the Rebbe once said, but in English, the Rebbe once said that the dust is the English word. Dust, so the Rebbe, is do sitrachre. Do sitrachre. The Rebbe will gesagt. He laughed. Dust. So this is the dust. Finished. The violet, this eating this kari geworden. And we find the letter in the Igris Kedesh from the Tovshin, I think Yural Tammuz, Tovshin Ches. The Friedrich Rebbe writes to Rabbi Cheskel Listener. The Cheskel Listener says, my son-in-law, the Rashag, heard about you, and are very happy that you agreed to become the chairman of the yeshiva Achet Tamimim in Chicago, and and actually became even the president. There was a Samach Tzedek who became the president, and the Friga writes to me, you should know who your grandfather is. I heard from your grandfather, which he heard from his grandfather. His grandfather, you're named after him, Becheskel. He's a chassid. He was a chassid with Alter Rebbe, and he lived in Staradov. Staradov is a city in Russia. And when they arrested Alter Rebbe, Geworden Uismensch, the rest of Alter Rebbe, they heard about it. They came back to Staradov, and they said he cannot continue. So he gets up on the bima in shul. Your Zayder, your Becheskel, he said he was a sheikhed. He gets up on the bima, and he says, I decided to give my life to the Alter Rebbe. I'm going to fast day and night, and on my life I'll give it to the Alter Rebbe. He fasted for 3 days and 3 nights. He fasted. At the end of the 3rd day, he comes to them to the Yidden in the shul, and he says, my tefillah, my bakosha in the Himmel is niskabel geworden, and I'm giving my life away for the Alter Rebbe, and he says on himself, I'm going to pass away today. But before I want to pass away, I don't want to come to the Himmel like, I fasted 3 days. I got to the Rebbe, I think it's koschedik. I got to bagayve. I'm going to drink mashke to break my fast. He drank mashke, said l'chaim, and he said, I want you should swear to me that when the Rebbe is going to be freed from tfisa, you should come to my caver, you should say l'chaim and dance by my caver. As soon as he said that, he passed away. He passed away. This is the letter that the Free Rebbe writes to this Mr. Jack Listener about who his grandfather was. He passed away. The Vaila got it. There's Staradov, and those days there wasn't any communications with what happens. There wasn't a Ladik, there wasn't any WhatsApps, there wasn't faxes, nothing. The people I come used to skitz to shul, and the Free Rebbe writes, and everyone's looking at each other like very suspiciously. Like I know something you don't know. So one guy says, did Becheskel come to the Cholim? Yeah, he came to the Cholim. Everyone, he came to the Cholim, and he said, I'm now in Himmel, and he said, I'm telling you now that today you discuss it, today is the day that the Rebbe is befreit from Tfisa. You don't know about this, befreit. And he says he was in the Heichel, he went to the Heichel because it was kislev of the Hilul the Magid, and all the Neshamas were going to the Magid, all the Neshamas going to Magid farbrengan. And the Magid said, Atera, the Posik Podir Shol Nafshi, that's the same capital of Rebbe that the Rebbe said, that Alter Rebbe said in jail. And today, and they just said, okay, they believe it. Everyone had the same dream. And the pale, that's talking what happened. It says the Dosig went Daizede. And they went to his cave that day, and they said L'chaim, and they danced. What's interesting is, there's an Endlich HaMaisa, stop and take everybody's time. The Endlich HaMaisa, Rebbe Nissen Nemanov, every year used to skis in Paris, used to by farbrengan, used to say the same story. But actually, I saw this Asich of Friga Rebbe, Tofi Tzadik Vov. The Friga says it's a story that's almost similar to this, but it's not exactly. That there was a chassid, also at the same time that when they arrested Alter Rebbe, he was next to Alter Rebbe. He saw the way they took away Alter Rebbe in a Schwarze Karette, and they arrested him. That means like a gefährliche criminal. This chassid fainted, and he started screaming, "Shchinte begalusa, Shchinte begalusa," and they couldn't revive him. They started pouring water until someone told him a lie. He said, "You know that he's free." He got up, but what's the truth? The Vaila, they came close to kislev, and this guy was chassid of the Alter Rebbe. He used to be chassid of Mendel Haradokim, Mendel Vitterke, became a chassid from the Alter Rebbe. So they were sitting Yutas Kislev and farbrengan in their shtetl. That doesn't say the name of the shtetl. The story Mamash Ehrlich, they the shtetl. And in the middle of the farbrengan, it's kislev. Why they farbrengan? Because it's the lulu of the Magid. Why they farbrengan? Because the lulu of the Magid. And in the middle of farbrengan, he falls asleep. This chassid. And who comes in the cholim? Remember, Laradokir comes to him in his cholim. He comes to him in his cholim, and he says that now in Pamal Shemailot, it's Magid, the Hilula, thousands of the Shomas are coming to the Magid. And the Magid is sitting at the head of the table. On one side is sitting the Baal Shem Tov, on the other side is sitting the Arizal. They're sitting there. Garnish. And the Magid is Rozet Teida Podim Shalom Nafshi. This is the same word, the same cholim, like the. And then Mitamol Gate around the Rashbi, and the Rashbi says, with the Zalman was an Ais Surah, but Dafu Rativin, and they make a psak bezin that he must come out of jail, and that's when he went out of jail, and he wakes up from his cholim, and tells him everybody. And this guy, it's the same cholim, but about Akabon it's kislev, and that's not a day. That's not talk about this. Rosh Hashanah Chassidus, Daf Shom Kichalemis. We know that this Azach was the Alter Rebbe Tuvgeton. We know that Alter Rebbe But the Alter Rebbe wanted Askom before Pinta the Tanya. He wanted Askom, as you know, from Leib Kayan and from Zusha. And also the Alter Rebbe, we know, sent Askom to ask the Levitz Baditchever. It's also very close. So he sent the Levitz Baditchever, and what did Baditchever say? The famous words. He was mamash excited. Baditchever took the Tanya, and he said, "Azah grace of God, Arayim Azah Kleinim Sefer." Azah grace of God, and mamash excited. So Lubavitch, the Mashpia, was the Shmuel Greinim. The Shmuel Greinim, vertelt Azah Meise. That in Lozhne, that's far from Lozhne, there was a Malamed. There's a Malamed, a Malamed. That he used to be a Malamed not far from Lozhne. His wife used to have like a bakery to sell pastries. But it was a cold winter day, and the guy's a poor man. Claps up in tear on the door. A person, a guy, and Mamash is frozen, so they gave him Mamash a bed to sleep to go to sleep, and the children slept somewhere else. He slept next to the oven, and they let him sleep there. And in the morning, he left. Okay, and so he tells the kids, go back to the bed there. You can sleep there. Eidach left. They go to bed. They see it's a peckle. Give a look. Gold coin, thousands of coins. You know what to do? He goes to the Lozhne, and the Alter Rebbe said, this money is destined for you to keep, because otherwise there wouldn't be any way you should. But you should still be a Malamed. You can become a rich man for this. But till the end of the Zman, then I'll tell you what to do. At the end of the Zman, he goes back to the Alter Rebbe. The Alter Rebbe said, now, open up a store in town and start selling merchandise. Okay? Don't become a gvir right away. People be suspicious. Don't become like a... And it was Matzliach. And he said, the Alter Rebbe said, come back next year. Comes back again, the Alter Rebbe says, now go to Vitebsk and go to buy it for the wholesaler that you sold the Scheide to you in town. After a year, he comes back, now go to Moscow. And this Malam Begwar the Weile, then they had to go to a place called Königsberg. I think it's in Germany. Königsberg in Germany. They had to go on a business trip. So the Alter Rebbe tells them, when you go to Königsberg, bring you back a present. Okay? He was there. There was a nice box, a Shmek Tabak, a Tabak box. He brings the Alter Rebbe. He thanked him, but that doesn't the matana. That's not true. So next time he goes back, he buys a fancier one, and he brings it back to him. The Alter Rebbe, no, this doesn't gemeint. Then the Alter Rebbe said, you know what? When next time you go to Königsberg, do you ever go to theater? You ever go to a movie? Me? I don't go to movies. No. Maybe you should go to a movie. Okay? That's Meise Shmuel Grein to tell the Meise. So he goes, it's a theater, people watching, he doesn't need, he sits down, he sits down, and he falls asleep. As soon as he falls asleep, and then the movie finished, and the janitors cleaning up. They say, hey, yo, mister, what are you doing? Where are you from? Where are you? I'm from Weiss Russland. Do you know from which city? From next to Lozhne. Oh, Lozhne. So the janitor says, du weißt, von Zalman you? Yeah, sicher, ich muss ein Nachchosid. Send him my regards. Okay? He goes to the Alter Rebbe and he tells him. The Alter Rebbe said, that was the maton, I'm waiting for you. So it said, regards from this. Next time you go to him, next day you go there, go back to the theater, I want to give you something. So he gives him an envelope. He goes back to the place, to the theater, and he tells him, I have something from Zalman to give to you. So he said, I can keep it. No, he says you should give it back. Okay, and he stays in the theater, whatever, and this person's looking at papers, and he hears this guy, and he asks the janitor, what's your name? My name is Karol. And he leafs through the papers, and while the janitor is looking through the papers, Azag Gilu what's a Shemashiach ton? What's a Shemashiach ofton? Azag Gilu and he says, I have to give it back to you? He gives it back. And he gave it back to the Alter Rebbe. So Shmuel Greinim said, this was one of the Lamavov Tzadikim, that the Alter Rebbe wanted his Askama also on Tanya. So now that they have the Askama, those we say in the Chitas, and now for Lisa Ditchever, also for Karol the janitor in Königsberg, that's a Lamavov Tzadik, L'chaim.